I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Bryan Board of Public Affairs meeting for November 1st, 2022. First on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the October 18th, 2022 meeting. Board members, you have a copy of those minutes in front of you. Are there any additions or corrections?
Seeing none, Jim, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the Board of October 16th minutes as written.
Second.
Dick?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Next is a hearing of public concerns. Anyone present that would like to address the board that's not on the agenda? Seeing none. Next is a resolution. Lori, would you number read, please?
Resolution number 42, 2022, authorizing change order number 1 for the electric department's 34.5 kV to 69 kV line conversion project materials.
Al,
Hi.
how are you?
Not bad.
What do you got for us?
Well, first off, I guess I'll talk about the main thing on here is the switches, the 69 kV switches that we went out for bid for. They came back and the part number that we put on the bid, the actual manufacturer makes two types or two styles of switches with that same part number. One of them's a horizontal switch and one of them's a vertical switch. We need the vertical set. Of course, the bid that we got was for the horizontal set, and we did have a detail in the bid, but it didn't get passed on to the manufacturer. It was a mistake by the supplier not to forward that. Did the manufacturer of the switch not ask questions? They didn't ask any questions, so that's a little bit of fault on them. It's a little bit of fault on us because we didn't notice the word horizontal when they submitted the description back to us until later on when they were discussing it. It's like, this is a horizontal switch, this is what we want. Back in 2020 for JV4 we purchased a switch like this, and it was around just $17,500 for the switch. These bids come in at $9,300. So something there, we didn't know if we were getting a good deal because we were ordering 3 of them or what. But it ended up they actually were quoting the wrong switch that we need. We were back and forth with the supplier. We talked to the rep. We talked to the manufacturer through email. They can't sell us that switch for that amount of money. It's just not, they can't do it. So it's like, okay, do we throw it out and then rebid it, or do we accept it and get it for what we had figured on paying for it anyway, because we are under budget with what we budgeted for the switches, and go ahead and get the change order. So that's what we brought here. So they're $6,844, I believe, and some change for each switch more. The supplier, they felt bad about how this all went down, and they said we're willing to take off some of our commission and work out these other changes with you that we had on box quantities through manufacturers. There was on the box quantity side of things, which is the decrease in the change order, was for the puppy arms that we quoted. We only needed 14 of them, but we were going to have to order like 35. But if we did an alternate, we went with the Alumiform, we could order, they were going to break the box for us, and we were going to only be able to purchase the 14. And they were $10 cheaper roughly per arm. So that was one thing that they worked with us on to kind of make it a little bit right with everything. And then the other box quantities were, like I said, some of them were over and some of them were under. It all came in to be a decrease in the bid of $536.85. And then with the switches on there, it made up to about $19,930 increase in the bid. So that's why we're bringing it here to get approval to go ahead and do the change order, get our switches that we need on order, because they're 40 weeks out, so. And, yeah, 40 weeks. And we got this project planned, you know, next summer to get this line built, and we need these switches to make that happen.
I just want to add a couple things. Just like you said, we are under budget. I mean, you know, we're at what, 179, and we budgeted, what is it, close to 300 between the two of them, so we're well underneath the budget. And something important also is that we received 2 bids. It didn't change the outcome of the low bid because the person that bid wrong bid both companies. So it was the same person made the mistake on both of them. So even all of this does not change the fact that they still are the low bidder. I think that's important to bring up.
Yes.
It doesn't affect anything. The same person made the same mistake on both people that you quoted it from, so it doesn't change anything.
Correct.
And the switch change isn't going to cause any delays?
Just the 40 weeks, you know, material pricing and things like that. You know, we're hoping to get them here in the summer and start doing that. I mean, we can still build the line if we get our poles, you know, and try to make that happen. We got that window of opportunity when we don't have to generate to build that line. So there are times, you know, in the winter and in the hot summer when we can't do it. So there's like just windows of time in the spring and in the fall we can build that line. So that's our plan, and the dilemma that I mean, this has been a kind of a nightmare really with working back and forth with suppliers and things on this, but just brought it to you. You got any questions I can try to answer?
It just sounds like an honest mistake between all parties.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is.
It was a little bit of everybody, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we ordered how many? I don't know, it was over 60 items, right, that we ordered,
Yeah.
you know, through this thing, so it's one of the things that went through with a fine-tooth comb and thought we got what we wanted. It sounded like a heck of a deal.
Yeah, that was my question, that it wouldn't affect any of the other bidders.
Yeah, doesn't affect, we had 2 bids, didn't affect anybody, they would still would have been the low bidder by like a substantial amount. Yeah, so.
Any questions for Alan? Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved, Jim.
Dick?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Annette? Yes. Karen?
Yes.
Next is another resolution. Lori, would you number read it?
Resolution number 43, 2022, creating job classifications for utility engineering assistant / GIS coordinator and utility engineering assistant / project coordinator.
Jackie?
Good evening. What we are requesting is to create 2 job classifications within the utility engineering assistance area. The first one would be a utility engineering assistant / GIS coordinator, and that position is being created to establish ownership and accountability over the GIS system. The other one that we are looking at doing is the engineering assistant / project coordinator, and what we're wanting to do with this is this classification will establish someone to coordinate the engineering department work on projects and to serve as a main point of contact for other departments within the city. The thought process with this is then that we will then leave the engineering supervisor position open and reevaluate that need in the next 3 to 4 years. So we're not creating any extra FTEs, we're just looking at creating these job classifications at this time. And I should also state that the job descriptions have been created and you were given those, and they were also point factored within the BMU comp plan. And as it states in the resolution, they came in at pay range 20.
We were still light in the engineering department, weren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Compared to
Sure.
years past.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Questions? Comment? Motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Tom?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Annette? Yes. Dick?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is a resolution. Lori, would you number read, please?
Resolution number 44, 2022, updating the Bryan Municipal Utilities compensation plan for non-bargaining unit hourly and salaried staff.
Jackie?
So every year, we bring the BMU compensation plan for review. This year, we have a couple of things that we're updating within the plan. One of those is to include the last two positions that you just authorized. So those are in the compensation plan for effect. And then the other thing is that the compensation plan states that it is evaluated annually and adjusted for market value and everything. And for the last several years, since we implemented this in 2016, the minimum wage continues to go up, so therefore our wage scale has to go up. So it adjusts our wage scale because our minimum wage was what was set for 22 and not for 23. So we need to change the minimum wage for us as of 1/1 of 23. So it's just a maintenance process.
Questions?
Something we do every year. After, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution 44.
I'll second.
Dick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Next is a request to place an engineering employee on regular employment status. Jackie?
Yes, at this time, we'd like to request that we place Stephen Hall on regular employment status. He has been employed with the utilities for a year as of November the 17th, so this would take effect then. His diverse background and his abilities he had worked with CAD previously when he was younger, and he has picked back up, and you couldn't even tell that he didn't work with it for a few years. So at this time, we'd like to place him on regular employment status.
Questions about Stephen Hall?
Rumor has it he's doing a really, really good job.
I've heard
He's
the
doing
same.
very good
I
job.
heard the same.
Keep hearing it, so with that, I'd like to make a motion that we put him on full-time employment status as an engineering assistant one.
I'll second.
Dick?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Annette? Yes. Tom?
Yes.
Next is a request to place a water employee on regular employment status. Jackie?
Yes, Chad Fitzenreiter has served as the water plant supervisor for almost 6 months, and at that time, he is eligible to come off of probationary status, and they conducted a performance evaluation, which was above expectations, and at this time, we'd like to place him on regular employment status as well.
I understand Chad is doing a good job. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve Chad Fitzenreiter from probationary to regular employment status as water treatment plant supervisor.
I'll second.
Karen?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Next is a request to place an electric water employee on regular employment status.
Yes, Justin Warfogel is eligible to come off of probationary status as a Warehouse 2 employee. He has served the 6 months that is required of that, and he continues to be a great asset to BMU. And I also want to note that he is not afraid to step in and help out in other areas that is really outside of his job classification, but he does so willingly and has a great positive attitude about it.
Questions? Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion that we place Justin Wadfogel on a regular employment as Warehouse 2 coordinator.
I'll second it.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Next is a request to authorize an equity pay adjustment for a part-time employee.
Right, and this is for Jeff Slusher. He is a part-time laborer. He was previously employed with BMU reading meters, and we re-employed him in 2019 to help with the transition of AMI. We did have 2 part-time employees that were in that labor position. The one is not able to currently work for several months, if returning at all. And so in several discussions with Jeff, he is willing to take on all of it. And so at this time, what we're asking to do is to give him a 3% increase to continue to do what he's doing, plus pick up others. It maintains within our current budget, so it won't add anything to the budget, and it's all, so we don't have to come back and ask for appropriations or anything. But we think that if he is willing to do this, he's very knowledgeable. He retired from here reading meters. He has a great relationship with the clerk's office and understands the lingo that it's taking during this AMI process.
He's been a good worker over the years.
Yeah.
He has been.
Good old Jeff. Oh,
Yeah, kind of a...
he's always done a good job.
Yes, he has.
Yeah. Can I have a motion to give Jeff his pay adjustment?
So moved.
Second.
Dick,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Next is to affect semi-monthly disbursements. Can I have a motion to pay the bills, please?
I would make a motion to pay bills.
I'll second.
Annette,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Karen, yes, Tom.
Yes.
Next is comments from VP and staff. Hey.
Yeah, I'll kind of make it short. I'd like to congratulate all of the employees coming off probation, Stephen, Chad, Justin, and I really appreciate Jeff stepping up and helping us through this time for the AMI. So I really do appreciate it. I wanted to know that. And it's good to have all these employees moving up. It's always nice to have people coming in and moving up and getting off probation, so I'm excited about that. And just, I updated last time, but I'll talk about the water tower again. I think they're on their 4th one up there doing the blueberries, so it's good. I think that's number 4, so I don't know if they're about halfway done now, so I think he's making great progress. We got some good weather coming up here the rest of this week in the 70s, so I expect that he'll probably be out there making more progress, so that's great news. And then AirMate, I think they're, through the intersection out there, they're in the open field and they're moving right along, and it shouldn't be long before that's done. It'd be nice to cross that off our list finally after all this time. I think that's about all I have.
No. Laurie.
No, sir, thank you.
Al, you got anything else you'd like to add?
Well, LED lights on the courthouse, stringers we put up last week, they're LEDs.
Really?
So it's something to look forward to, looking at them this year. They should be bright,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Well, the chamber director had a line of them last year, kind of as a trial, right?
That's what you did.
Yep.
And he had all of us go up and see, and they were bright, so.
They were different.
Yeah.
It was really different.
That's good. They'll probably be a lot cheaper to run, too.
Won't have so many problems with tripping the
Yeah.
circuits up there.
You don't think we'll have the problems with them that we had with the, what were they, the fluorescent ones? They used that one here?
Yeah, hopefully not.
Hopefully not, I agree. Derek, you got anything? Jackie? Okay. Mr. Sprow?
Nothing additional, just congratulations to Steve and Chad and Justin on their employment status change. That's all I have.
Karen?
Good to have a strong workforce. One thing about the employment part of it was I'm glad to see that going for a program coordinator position. That's something we talked about back 15, 20 years ago, and it would have been beneficial then, but I think that is something that is going to be very beneficial for us going forward. That's it.
I got a lot of, and Al can attest to this, the engineering department, Al, helped grow that department. I spent time there as well. It's very important to the utilities as far as I'm concerned, and I think this is a step to help us get to where we need to be. It'd be nice to have that central contact person. And the GIS is always best to have one person doing it. They don't have a lot of hands in it, and they're the liaison with the county and the state and everything else. So it's nice to finally be able to get somebody central that answers to that too. So I'm excited to get that started.
I also want to say on the newspaper picture of the two electric guys up there in the courthouse, it's fun to see. They didn't get the name of the one person. Do you know who was that? Who was it?
I don't know.
Oh.
No, I just, one
I thought
picture I
they
saw.
said Al, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I'm sure those lights will benefit the courthouse and the whole downtown, but another part of the courthouse lighting structure is they have in place new LED uplights. So if you go around the courthouse at night, I think you're going to be surprised to see the detail that these lights emphasize on the sides of the courthouse. It's just gorgeous. It brings out the beauty of the courthouse even more to see those. So I have to say thumbs up to that part of it too. I know that's county stuff, but hey.
Well, you'll really notice it
Thumbs
here
up
in
for it.
about a week when it gets dark at 5 o'clock. You'll be able to get out and see it. So
Yeah.
Al, are they sticking with the tower? Are they still gonna have tower lights going up? Are they?
The ones up the,
Yeah.
as far as I know they are.
Are they? Good. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Good. Dave?
Again, about all I have is congratulations to all the employees on their status change. I've always liked to watch people move up. And other than that, that's about all I have.
Same as everybody else. Congrats to the employment, regular status employment. To reiterate, like what Karen said, the GIS and the project coordinators, it'd be nice to have the go-to people with all the answers, so that'll be nice. So yeah, that's all I have.
Well, all I say is just congratulations to the employees on the status change and the raises. With that, we will go into executive session to discuss compensation, employment, and hiring of public employees. Besides the board members, I would ask Nate, Derek, Jackie, the mayor, and Lori to stay, please. With that, we will take a brief recess.